Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
What are you?
I found a 133-year-old man. I kid you not, in Uganda, I found a man who has lived for 133 years now. How did this man live this long? And what choices did he make that extended his lifespan? I have met a lot of old men and women, and recently met a woman who has 123 years of age. And surprisingly, she's even still a virgin at that age. But how comes that a person would have 133 years and still be breathing? Meet the world's oldest person. God has been with me throughout the ages. And right now, I have 133 years. The reason I think I lived long was because I couldn't eat anything and had a strict diet. I would take alcohol, but after seeing that it was driving me almost crazy, I had to stop and start drinking tea. I stopped taking alcohol when I had 45. Whenever I drank some alcohol, I could start fighting and beating people for absolute no reason. There is this particular day he remembers on a late Sunday evening when he bet someone and the guy lost 3 teeth, which he still regrets up to now, and people started advising him to quit taking alcohol, and he did. I stopped taking alcohol and started smoking cigarettes. Some colleagues also warned me not to smoke, saying that it might damage my lungs. But I kept doing it until when I started coughing uncontrollably, hence deciding to quit smoking. During his youth days, that's when his country was under colonialism, and all they did as young children was entering the church and start counting and even learning alphabetical letters, where he later learned how to read and write. We would gather in a church and missionaries taught us writing. We had nowhere to write apart from the ground, and not every child was allowed. There had to be chosen ones who would study for 6 months, and they would use some physical examples like bananas for counting and easy understanding. He says that during his time, elder people never knew counting, and both his parents and others never counted, and none of his parents knew how old they are. All they did was guessing according to seasons. I would say I had 3 fathers, and one was my grandfather, the father to my dad. I think my family has a thing of living longer because my granddad was too old that he couldn't even walk. They could lift him and take him out seated on some skin hides, and then we would wash him and take him back in the house. But we never washed him with water. We never knew water can be used to clean the body. We used other traditional methods, but sadly he died when I turned 8. It's hard to imagine that this man has lived for a record-breaking 133 years, as he was born in the 19th century in 1890 and has lived in the 20th and until now in the 21st century, a record that no one else will break. According to history, the oldest person to ever live was Jeanne Calment, a French woman who achieved an incredible feat of living to age 122. Thus earning the honor of being the world's old person on record. But recently, we visited an old woman in Rwanda who was the oldest at the time with 123 years according to her identity card. And surprisingly, that woman is a virgin, having never met any man in her entire lifetime. Now this man here is the oldest living man with 133 years. But he's physically not strong, as there is nothing he can do apart from sing. talking.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
How are you?
And some body movements. The rest has to be done by other, which includes lifting him daily, washing him, and more. I have some favorite foods that I eat and drink. It's what has kept me alive. I prefer eating bananas, potatoes, vegetables, and fish. When I get an African tea on top of that, then feel better. I believe those foods have played a big role in keeping me alive. But that's a joke. Only God is the one who has kept me alive. I'm her daughter, and I'm the third born. I have 67 years, and my father has a staggering 133 years. I'm one of the few children left to take care of my father and some of his grand and great-grandchildren who live here. And it's not easy taking care of our dad because he's always sick due to old age. For instance, he takes 12 pills per day because he suffers from ulcers. Topista highlights problems she faces daily taking care of his dad, but adds that she's at least grateful because her dad's grandchildren do also lend a helping hand. Every day, they have to make sure he gets his medication on time. If not, something might go wrong. His grandchildren have helped us a lot because without their support, I can't imagine how he would still survive. For he has been depending on medication and a lot of pills. When time comes for his medication, there is nothing else you can explain to him. You can't say you don't have money, or else you didn't buy his medicine. But there is nothing else he suffers from, apart from ulcers and some diarrhea. Now, the dad lives at Topista's place so that she can take care of him daily, and she also makes sure in her power that the dad lives a better life here. She adds that the old man does not complicate life, which is why taking care of him is not that difficult. You only have to make sure that he gets tea before sleeping and juice in the morning after waking up, and that is it. My dad is a hardworking person. He was a farmer who cultivated, did fishing, and was also a butcher. He believed that hard work forever pays, which is one of the lessons he gave us when we were young kids and we grew up with the hardworking mentality. It wasn't that easy to instill that mentality in us, as sometimes we never liked it because we thought it was too much for us, yet we were young. He could get a piece of land and divide it equally, in big part that we had to cultivate in a right way, not just for the sake of completing the task before 2 p.m. Topista says she enjoyed life, but there is only one thing that she never got in her entire life, and this stopped her from living with the husband she had vowed to love, but for the husband's benefit. After growing up and becoming an adult, I met many men who saw me as a perfect partner, but only one of them would win my heart. We dated for a year and then got married. Everything was great, and we had promised to love each other and be by each other till the day when death do us apart. But something happened. I came to find out that I was barren and I couldn't be able to make children. I then made a decision that a few people would make, which was putting an end to my relationship and let my husband marry another woman who would be able to have children. She worked, and the money she earned used it buying this house where she lives with her dad and the dad's grandchildren. Her goal is to keep the old man happy during his remaining days on the planet. This old man's extraordinary journey, rooted in hard work, self-reliance, and a disciplined approach to health, became a testament to the incredible potential that lies within each of us. It serves as a reminder that by embracing these virtues, we can not only live longer but also create a lasting impact on the world around us. Thank you for watching. I'm Elijah and this is Afrimax English. Remember to subscribe.